I hate Nagas. I hate that place. Out of all of the Elvia spots, that's the one I don't like at all. I don't want to ever have to return to it. Just the entire mechanic and everything seems annoying to me. Nevertheless, I spent 10 hours there. I'm doing my review of it, experience, skill points, money per hour, basically everything. And then once I'm done, once I show you all of the stuff, the mystery is gone for me anyway, so I don't have a point to return here in the future again. But even more so now, I don't like this place, so after this video is done, I'm not returning to Nagas. So let's talk about it. Let me begin as always. The same class, I'm still playing Nova Awakening. I still have the same kind of gear. I have 285 AP with a Kutum and one Black Star weapon. I didn't pre-record my gear, so you see there a TED Black Star chest. Yeah, I didn't have that one for my 10 hours. I still had the Dim 3 armor. I bought the Black Star chest afterwards, so just ignore that part. If you're wondering why I went for Black Star chest, because it's affordable, it's very cheap, and even though I have 100 embers, I'm pretty sure I will never go for a Fallen God because it's too expensive and I'm just too lazy to put that much effort and investment into it. I got my damage reduction for monsters, that's kind of all I care about, and one more DP bracket. And for the crystals, those changed as well. As you already saw, I have a full set of Hooms and a bunch of other defensive crystals, and I think now I have finally, after so many iterations, probably the best grinding setup where I have absorption crystals in my main weapon, so literally my HP never goes down, it's always full because of all of the drain. I used to have full damage crystals, let me touch on that as well, from the Bloody Monastery video. They seem to work. The full human damage crystals, it might also be placebo on monsters, not just players. So someone on my Discord went on Global Labs to see numbers and tried to test this, and I guess it works. It's not super clear, but I mean, sure, try human crystals if you want for Bloody Monastery, but for every other spot in the game, I just went back to normal people crystals. And let me tell you, it makes a huge difference. That damage reduction from the Hooms and all of the other stuff actually makes my HP go down a lot slower compared to the human damage setup. In terms of pets, full tier 4 pets, I don't know if you need exactly tier 4s, probably full tier 3 is enough for this place as well, because they are not really one-shotable, so they should have enough time to loot. And other than that, I guess let's talk about the actual spots that I don't like as much. So Nagas is very similar. Actually, it's not very similar at all to FOGANS, never mind. So the main mechanic for this place is you find all of these elite mobs, kind of, named commanders. They are pretty big and pretty hard to miss, and you pull roughly, let's say 2, 3 or 4 of those, usually 3, rarely 4, rarely 2, if you only find 2, to the stinky flowers. That's why I call them the poisonous stinky flowers, whatever. You pull them to those. Then you kill the elites. I mean, you first kill the flower it is a flower, the poisonous thingy. That thing applies a minus DP debuff on the monsters, so that's why you pull the commanders to those stinky flowers. And after the flower dies, you kill the commander, obviously. I mean, you kind of can see in the background. When the commanders die, ideally they should spawn a couple of Naga monsters, the regular packs, but this is where the first problem I have with this spot. First of all, I hate this, it's annoying having to pull the commanders to the plants, the stinky plants every single time. I mean, sure, I understand, it's a mechanic, it's fine, but it gets tedious and a bit annoying, especially since they are so distanced. And since if you are a Nova and you dash very fast like me, and you dash too fast, they actually reset, which gets annoying. The commanders actually reset if you don't wait enough for them. And if you kill them too fast, they don't always spawn monsters, which is even more annoying. And I noticed sometimes they spawn monsters even before they die, and if you don't kill those monsters and you kill the commander, then the spawned monsters disappear. Basically, the commander might spawn monsters before he dies, and you have to kill those monsters. And when he dies, usually it's guaranteed that he spawns a separate set of monsters. But if you have an Elvia weapon and you like 3-tap the commanders, the elites, and they die very fast, sometimes not even those spawn, which is inconsistent. I just don't like it. Maybe it's a bug, maybe I'm just blind and I don't see the pack and it dies too fast because Elvia weapons one-shot them, but I just don't like. My first couple of hours I suppose were interesting, but over the 10 hours it seemed tedious, it seemed annoying, and let me just say, I'm spoiled. After making like 500, at least 400 million silver per hour at the Bloody Monastery, making half of that here, it just feels wrong. It feels like a waste of time. So yeah, that's kind of the main mechanic with the commanders. Then there's a secondary mini mechanic with the spawns. It's basically the same as the one at FOGANS. Randomly, every now and then you might see these messages on the screen and it spawns a wave of Naga monsters. No wait, the FOGANS monsters. So this is the Naga grinding spot, it spawns FOGANS monsters. Once again, the same as the FOGAN area, basically you grind Nagas, it spawns the other types. As I understand from a comment, this is lore stuff. If you care about BDO lore, basically they are supposed to fight each other. It's extra monsters, I suppose. They do drop the FOGAN items, so you will end up with a different type of trash and different type of drops, materials. But other than that, it's just standard monsters. I don't feel like I'm grinding any faster just because I see this event happening. It's just there, I suppose, for lore reasons. Now, where do you grind? Rotations. I will show you 2 of them. I guess it might take a while if I show you actually killing them. It might be just me on the horse walking around, but the main area I saw most people grind is very close to Glitch. There's a big field around that. You can see it on the map. That's basically where you can make a really big rotation that can probably be split in 2 and 2 people can grind it at the same time. But if you have an Elvia weapon, then you kind of need the entire field for yourself, because again, commanders get 2 skilled or 3 skilled and they die. So if you have an Elvia weapon, that entire field is just your playground. There's another field right here, again I will show it on the map, where you can make another rotation. I've seen people grind this one as well. I wanted to try this one, but it was never free, so I never got a chance, and honestly I just didn't care, because in the end we have rotation number 3, which is, it seems very remote. You kind of need a class with movement because there's gap between packs, but as a Nova I didn't have any problems. I'm gonna call this my sleeper rotation, secret rotation, because I've never seen anyone grind it ever. In terms of trash per hour, it seemed to be, at least in my case, basically the same as any other rotation, and it was always empty. So yeah, I would recommend this 3rd rotation, which is probably now on the screen. This is the one I would maybe grind if I ever return to this place. It's empty. That's it. If you cannot find anything else empty, this one is probably empty. Just be warned, it requires a bit of travel time. It's kind of awkward made, it has gaps between packs. So pick any of those rotations. Just as I mentioned earlier, the mechanic is you find 3 commanders, usually it's always at least 3, and you pull those to the stinky flowers, and that's basically it. You just make packs of 3 commanders, 3 commanders, 3 commanders. As long as you can make that, then any rotation is fine. It doesn't really matter. There doesn't seem to be any huge difference in trash per hour between them, at least in my case. And I will show my trash per hour in a second, but it was very disappointing. I don't know why. Actually, yeah, I can do it right now. It's about time for XL anyway. So yeah, let's start with the money per hour. I really don't like this place. I don't like it. I believe I watched maybe not the worst video and some other video about Nagas. People already made videos on this place and they seem to be getting more trash than I did for whatever reason. I mean, I did start pretty bad, but even throughout my hours, Usually it was around 5000 trash per hour with a blue loot scroll and the event arch above. So around 5000 trash per hour is what I would normally get with maybe one weapon drop. If I don't have any weapon drops, I can drop below 5000 trash per hour. I tried to be as fast as I could, but it just feels like it's underwhelming. Maybe the trash should be higher. At FOGANS I was getting closer to 6000 trash, so it is a noticeable difference, FOGANS versus Nagas. Maybe it's because of the commander mechanic, who knows. Maybe this is correct, you can let me know in the comments. But yeah, usually 5000 trash per hour, maybe 5.5, 5.7 if I had really good runs. I never got to 6000 trash per hour, so judge that however you want. In terms of weapon drops, it was pretty meh. Most hours had 0, 1, 0, 1. I had 2 hours where I dropped 2 weapons, but everything else was just one weapon or no weapon at all. So maybe bad RNG, maybe this is normal. Again, you can let me know if you have more experience. And these are all of the items that I got out of 10 hours. I feel like I should have dropped one more nail. I believe in my last 3 or 4 hours I didn't get any nails. So if I did another 2 hours, I would have at least 4 of them. I think in 10 hours you should expect maybe 4 nail drops, but I got only 3. Other than that, you get the Black Magic Crystal Ascension from the main Naga monsters. This one, pretty cheap. I got 1 sturdiness from the FOGANS spawns. These are all of the trash items that drop. You have the main Naga trash, the main trash that you get. By the way, this one, hour 3, is when I tested Agris Efficiency, so this one is divided by 2. It's not 10,000. Here it's marked somewhere 5 point something thousand. And this one is when I tested experience, so if you're interested for later, this is the trash per hour for my experience run, at least the baseline for it. So yeah, you have also the FOGANS trash that you get from the FOGANS spawns, and 3 other weird types of trash that maybe I should have ignored. I guess they don't really matter, but they are still here for whatever reason. These are the normal items that drop. You can look at them if you want, traces and blackstones and stuffs. It's just underwhelming. I'm not impressed whatsoever. I just want to go back to Monastery or go test Orc Camp as soon as possible at this point, because 200 million silver is meh. I mean it's good, but this is Elvia, so I kind of want more. And these are the specific items, the Elvia specific items. I modified all of the money per hour charts from previous areas as well to value the shard of the Drained Knight and these shards. Basically, I looked at everything you need to craft the item to enhance your ring, and since you can sell that onto the marketplace for 1 billion silver, I just assumed you would eventually, after you have all of the materials, sell that to the marketplace for profit. And if you do that, then this is the value of one of those shards of Drained Knight. These. If you cannot already tell, this is valuing everything. This is the case for all of the previous Elvia spots I reviewed. I kind of forget to mention this, and some people say, they don't make as much money. Just keep in mind, I'm valuing everything. There are a bunch of items here that you probably don't want to ever sell or you keep for yourself, in which case the value will be lower. But in situation number 1, where you save the Black Star materials because you have and you want to enhance your Black Star armor for whatever reason, you don't sell these basically, you're looking at about 140 million silver per hour, again with a normal blue loot scroll and the 50% drop rate event from basically arch above. And in situation number 2, it's these plus these combined. So basically, if you don't need the materials for Black Star armor, it should be, everything included should be around 205 million silver per hour, which again, I guess it's good, but I'm not impressed anymore. At this point, it's underwhelming, and I'm definitely making more at FOGANS, and FOGANS is more enjoyable to grind than Nagas. So there's that. Also, these in darker green are taxed with a marketplace return because you sell these to the marketplace for profit with a value pack, and the ones in lighter green, like the trash and all of these, are not taxed. So that's about that for money per hour. Also, yeah, trash per hour average. Let me make this perfectly clear. My average trash per hour was 5.1 thousand. This is just the Nagas trash, but including all of the types of trash, including the FOGANS spawns, I got 5.3 thousand trash. So it's 5.3 thousand trash with all of them combined. Keep that in mind. This is the same case for the previous FOGANS video as well, where I forgot to point that out. So yeah, let's look at experience rates. I don't know if you noticed yet throughout the video, but I was level 62 at times. You see, mistakes were made. Somehow I didn't pay enough attention. I went to monastery. This was back when I was doing the broken monastery test, and I leveled up to 62. Unfortunate, because my entire chart is level 61, and for consistency's sake I have to be level 61 to test all of the Elvia spots. So with big regret, I suppose, and it's just a mistake on my end, I have to say thank you Abyss for giving me the free, after the server transfer, the free experience exchange coupon, because now I can make my life skill ranger level 62, and this is what we are about here on this channel. We don't move forward, we move backwards. My Nova, through the magic of the coupon, is back to level 61. So yeah, I just had to point it out, my frustration. Experience, it's meh. It's really meh for this place. Maybe there's one thing that I maybe had wrong. If you look at the experience buffs currently, there's an event that gives us 150% experience and 50% skill points, but the buff is a different color than usual. I think it applies, and if it basically, I took that into consideration. I hope it works. I have a feeling maybe it doesn't work just because it's a different color, but if it works, then these are the numbers. If you can find it somewhere here, Nagas, Elvia Nagas, these. There's 3 entries, basically like always. The standard, the normal test is this one, 5.1 thousand trash. This is the experience rate. It's basically, worse than Sigraya. It's worse than most of, at least the other Elvia spots I tested so far. It's really good. It's comparable to Mirumok main rotation, the main 3-man party, but compared to the other Elvia spots, it's not amazing. So this is kind of with one Elvia weapon, 5.1 thousand trash, what you should expect. And then I simulated what if I had 2 Elvia weapons, if I could get 5.5 thousand trash, then the experience is a bit higher. If I don't have any Elvia weapons, then I get maybe 4.8 thousand trash, which seems to be quite normal for me throughout my hours, then the experience is even lower. So this is kind of the range of experience that you should expect from this place. Skill point wise, it seems to be again worse than most other Elvia spots. Maybe it's just because I'm not grinding this place fast enough. This is Biragi for skill points, and Nagas is basically below that. If that buff that I mentioned earlier actually doesn't work, and I shouldn't take it into consideration, then the skill points are right here, 2.2. Basically it pushes Nagas to be literally on par with FOGANS. That's kind of why I feel like maybe that buff doesn't work, but anyway, this is the situation for experience with Nagas. It's good, it's okay. Skill points are underwhelming like most Elvia spots. You just don't grind these for skill points. Normal experience is good, but most other Elvia spots seem to be better, so why pick this one for experience? And yeah, the last one left is Agris points. Agris Efficiency. How good is this place? Should you use your Agris points on this place? Maybe. I mean, it's not amazing, but this is something I omitted from the other Elvia videos I did. It's not the most efficient thing ever, but if you're gonna use them somewhere, like if you feel like grinding this place, it's not bad. Basically, you're not wasting your points, it's just that there are slightly more efficient other options if you go to the other Elvia spots. So this is Nagas. No, wait, yeah, Nagas. I'm confusing Nagas and FOGANs. Nagas with 2 weapons, this one I guess is a simulation, this is the original one. Again, this number 11.1 thousand trash per hour is combining both the FOGANs and the Nagas trash, because you get both of those because of the spawns. You're burning roughly 92,000 points per hour, so quite a lot of them. It's good if you want to burn them fast. In terms of efficiency, again, you should be familiar with these charts, but this is the more important one, the efficiency, where I'm looking at this column, and ideally a spot should be as high up as possible. You're looking at using the least amount of points, Agris points, to make the most amount of silver in return. So the further up it is, the better, the more efficient the spot should be. That's why I keep recommending Thornwood, because Thornwood is extremely efficient in terms of Agris points usage. Out of the other Elvia spots, Bloody Monastery so far seems to be the best efficiency wise. Nagas is here. Actually, wait, it's pretty good. Yeah, once again I'm wrong, and I remember it wrong. For some reason I thought FOGANs was here and Nagas was down. I thought FOGANs is more efficient, but yeah, turns out Nagas is slightly more efficient. It's basically the same as Sikraya. Most people in the game are familiar with Sikraya, lower level, the high-end spot. Nagas, FOGANs, Biragi Den, they are all just slightly more efficient or slightly less efficient than Sikraya. Just nothing groundbreaking. If you're fine with burning your points at Sikraya, it's the same efficiency at Nagas, it's just that you burn more points per hour. So that's just the only difference. Will I recommend this place for Agris? I mean, sure, maybe. That's kind of the conclusion of this entire video. I don't like Nagas whatsoever. I want to get out of this place as fast as possible, but at the same time I have to recommend something to people, so I guess Agris Efficiency is fine. Experience is meh, but I guess it's fine. Money per hour, I guess it's 200 million silver, so it's at least on par with Sikraya, but then again you have the other Elvia spots which are better. It's just meh. The entire feeling I get from this place is that it's more effort than I have to put into it to grind it because of the pulling commanders mechanic. They sometimes don't spawn the monsters properly, which annoys me, and everything else numbers wise it's meh. So I will just leave it at that. If you like FOGANs, grind FOGANs. If you don't like FOGANs, just don't grind them. That's it. What a weird video, but I made it to the end. Hope you enjoyed it, hope this was useful to you. If you were looking forward to grinding FOGANs, the spot might be good, okay? Just don't take this video as negative. The spot might be good, I just personally don't like it. I'm spoiled, I want to go back to grinding my 500 million silver at Bloody Monastery, because I know I'm wasting my time grinding Nagas instead. So, I mean, or Orc Camp. I should go test Orc Camp. So, thanks for watching, I will see you next time. Until then, like the video if you enjoyed it, so I can feel better about myself, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.